I stepped out on the porch to find a silver glow, but the sky is just a hollow shell of a life I used to know. I checked the lunar calendar on the back of the kitchen door. It says the light is coming back, but I don't believe it anymore. It's 2025 and they say the world is getting bright, but they haven't seen the shadows in this house since Tuesday night. I'm reaching for the compass that you drew upon my palm, but the needle's spinning wild and the air is far too calm. The stars are just pinpricks in a blanket made of lead, and the I'll be back by morning is a lie that's been put to bed. And I'm stranded in a moonless night, looking for your face in a universe that's folded up and moved to another place. There's no reflection in the water, there's no guide across the sea, just the heavy velvet darkness sitting right here next to me. I used to find my way by the way it always shined, but the tide has pulled the light away from everything that's mine. Yeah, it's a deep and lonely silence, it's a long and bitter fight, drowning in the middle of a moonless night. I remember how the shadows used to dance across the floor, when we didn't need the sun to know what we were living for. Now I'm tripping over memories in the corner of the room, while my heart is busy weaving its own tapestry of gloom. The street lights are all broken, or maybe it's just me, refusing to acknowledge all the things I have to see. Without you as my orbit, I'm just drifting out to space, a satellite of sorrow that has lost its only base. The gravity is failing and the atmosphere is thin, and I don't know where the ending or the emptiness begins. And I'm stranded in a moonless night, looking for your face in a universe that's folded up and moved to another place. There's no reflection in the water, there's no guide across the sea, just the heavy velvet darkness sitting right here next to me. I used to find my way by the way it always shined, but the tide has pulled the light away from everything that's mine. Yeah, it's a deep and lonely silence, it's a long and bitter fight, drowning in the middle of a moonless just the dark, just the nowhere left to go. Moonless night. I'm staring at the timeline of the years we left behind, scrolling through the footage in the back room of my mind. There's a frame at 7:30 on a Friday in July, where I see the exact moment that the light left your eye. I take the cursor to the scene where I let the silence grow, and cut the bitter words I said 1,000 years ago. I'd color grade the shadows till the gray turned back to gold, and fix the jagged ending that we never should have told. But the film is made of iron and the reel is locked in tight, and I can't change the way we flickered out of sight. It's 2025 and the screen is going black, while I'm reaching for a lever that'll never bring you back. If I could edit the past, I'd rewrite every line. I'd trim away the distance and I'd make the ending mine. I'd crop out all the strangers and the nights we spent alone, and mute the sound of goodbye on the other end of the phone. I'd let the way you laughed at me when we were still in love, and erase the cold December that we weren't strong enough for. But I'm just a lonely ghost in a dark and empty cast, wishing I could edit their past. I go back to the kitchen, find the clip of us at tea, and zoom in on the person that I used to let you be. I delete the prideful walkouts and the slamming of the door, and paste a little patience on the cracks across the floor. There's a 3-minute sequence where I didn't hold your hand. I'd stretch it out forever just to make you understand. I'd dissolve the heavy tension, I'd blur out all the pain, until the only thing that's left is you standing in the rain, waiting for me. But I'm stuck Different soundtrack, one that doesn't sound so blue. I'd adjust the focal length until the only thing was you. But life isn't a theater, and I'm not the man in charge. I'm just a minor character whose regrets are far too large.
I'm staring at the dust motes, dancing in a sliver of light, in the quiet of a Tuesday, but the cushions hold the shape of when you told me you'd leave. The television's flickering, some static on the screen, like a ghost of every movie that we watched in between. I'm wearing your old hoodie just to feel a little heat, while the rest of me is turning into something incomplete. The coffee's cold as winter in the mug you used to use, and I'm running out of spirit, and I'm running out of news. It's 2025, but I'm still stuck in last July, watching every week you fix this, slowly curl up and die, and I'm sinking into the sofa, I'm melting into the gray, just a heavy piece of furniture that's getting in the way. The fabric's got a memory of the way you used to leave. Now I'm just a hollow shadow in the spaces in between. I'm rooted to the fabric, I'm anchored to the floor, in a house that doesn't feel like it belongs to me no more. Gravity is winning, and the light is getting low, sinking into the sofa with nowhere left to go. I found a loose nickel and a hair tie in the crease, a tiny little treasure from a life that lived in peace. I remember how we laughed here till our sides began to ache. Now I'm just waiting for the structure that's getting in to break. The world keeps moving past the window, cars are rushing by underneath the cold and indifferent December sky. They say I should get outside, they say I shouldn't move on, but the gravity is double now that you are finally gone. The shadows on the ceiling are the only things that grow, while I'm buried in the fabric of a love I let go. I'm a mountain of upholstery, I'm a monument to grief, and the silence in this living room is far to the sofa with nowhere left to go. If I stay here long enough, will I become the room, a permanent fixture in this residential tomb? Maybe I'll just disappear into the velvet and the foam, a part of the architecture of a broken empty home. I've been carrying this letter in my pocket for a month. It's wrinkled at the edges, stained with coffee at the front. I finally found the words to say I'm sorry for the noise, for the way I broke your spirit like a pair of childhood toys. I know I was a hurricane, I know I was the dark, and I'm sorry that I quenched the only flame that had a spark. I've practiced every sentence, I've refined every line, but the courage to click forward isn't something I can find. Because saying it won't fix the way you tremble when it rains, and I'm sorry is a bandage that can't reach these kind of stains. So this is the apology I'll never let you see, the one that sets you finally and truly far from me. It's the truth about the ego and the lies I used to tell, the map of how I dragged us both into this quiet hell. I'm whispering it to the walls, I'm screaming it at night, but I'm keeping it a secret so you can stay in the light. Yeah, the best thing I can give you is to stay a world away, with the apology I'll never send, and the words I'll never say. I hope you're sleeping better now that I'm not in the hall. I hope you're finally learning how to breathe and stand up tall. I'm sorry that I took the parts of you that were the best and put your gentle giving heart through every selfish test. You deserve a forever that doesn't feel like a dead, and a memory of a lover that you don't have to forget. But if I show up at your door, it's just for me to feel relief, and I won't interrupt your
healing with my own belated grief. So I'll keep the guilt inside me where it's supposed to stay, and let the silence be the price I finally have to pay. This is the apology I'll never let you see, the one that sets you far away and truly far from me. It's the truth about the ego and the lies I used to tell, the map of how I dragged us both into this quiet hell. I'm whispering it to the walls, I'm screaming it at night, but I'm keeping it a secret so you can stay in the light. Yeah, the best thing I can give you is to stay a world away, with the apology I'll never send, and the words I'll never say. Maybe in 2045 or a decade down the line, I'll see you at a distance and I'll know that you are fine, and I'll smile because you're happy, even though I'm not the cause, accepting that our ending was the best thing that there was. I'll burn the paper then. Yeah, this is the apology I'll never let you see, the gift of being absent that I'm giving you for free. It's the I was wrong about it all and you were always right, the confession of a coward who finally saw the light. I'm whispering it to the walls, I'm screaming it at night, but I'm keeping it a secret so you can stay in the light. The best thing I can give you is to stay a world away, with the apology I'll never send. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But you don't need to hear it now. You just need to be free. I watch the clouds turn charcoal from the safety of the porch, while the love we built together felt the flicker of the torch. The sirens started wailing
packing suitcases and looking at the ground. I didn't try to stop you, I didn't beg you stay. I just watched the sky turn violent and the colors fade to gray. Now the wind is ripping shingles from the roof above my head, but I'm already underground, living with the things you said. There's a hurricane in 2025 knocking at the door, but I don't feel the thunder or the shaking of the floor. I've retreated to the darkness, I've bolted up the hatch, waiting for a peace that I know I'll never snatch. 'Cause my mind is a storm cellar, cold and made of stone. The only place I'm certain that I can be alone. While the world is tearing upward, I'm digging deep below, holding on to memories that I should have let go. It's dusty and it's narrow, and the light is getting dim, but it's the only place your ghost can reach across the rim. Let the lightning strike the timber, let the rafters start to bend. I'm safe inside the cellar of a love that had to end. I've got shelves of should have beens and jars of could have dones, counting down the minutes till the setting of the suns. I can hear your footsteps pacing on the floorboards up above, the heavy, restless rhythm of a suffocating love. They say that I should come outside, that the weather's gonna clear, but they don't know the climate that I've lived with for a year. It's safer in the silence, it's easier in the dark than looking at the wreckage where we used to have a spark. The pressure's dropping steady and the air is getting thin, and I'm losing track of where the sky or where my walls begin. I've got enough regret to last me through the winter chill, while I'm sitting in the shadows, perfectly and ghostly still. 'Cause my mind is a storm cellar, cold and made of stone. The only place I'm certain that I can be alone. While the world is tearing upward, I'm digging deep below, holding on to memories that I should have let go. It's dusty and it's narrow, and the light is getting dim, but it's the only place your ghost can reach across the rim. Let the lightning strike the timber, let the rafters start to bend. I'm safe inside the cellar of a love that had to end. Sometimes I think I hear you calling out my name through the cracks in the foundation, through the sorrow and the shame. But I know it's just the whistling of the wind against the bent, a hollow, bitter earth of the time that we both spent trying to survive the weather. branches were heavy with the white. We stood beneath the blossoms in the middle of the night. You picked a single flower and you tucked it in my hair, and swore that as long as they bloomed, you'd always be right there. But the season turned to winter in the blink of a tired eye, and the wind began to whisper a cold and sharp goodbye. Now the tree is standing naked against a 2025 sky, and all those sweet beginnings have withered up and died. The storm came through at midnight, and it tore the spirit down, scattered all our own ways across this lonely town. The beauty's in the driver, the colors in the street, turning into something gray beneath the passing feet. Now it's just petals in the gutter, washing out to sea the remains of every promise that you ever made to me. Once they were a canopy, once they were a crown. Now they're just the debris that the rain is pushing down. I'm reaching for the velvet, but I'm only touching mud, trying to find the pulse inside a love that's lost its blood. Yeah, it's a messy kind of ending, it's a cluttered kind of bitter, watching our forever turn to petals in the gutter. I tried to sweep them into piles, tried to save a little light, but the current is too heavy and the water's far too bright. It's funny how the things that used to make us catch our breath are the same things we're stepping on in this slow and steady death. I see a flash of pink against the tire of your car as you drive away to find a life that's brighter and more far. The garden's looking empty and the porch is looking bare, and there's a scent of rotting jasmine hanging in the air. The drain is getting clogged with the dreams we couldn't keep, while I'm standing on the sidewalk 3 inches in the deep. The world is looking forward, but I'm looking at the ground, at the only parts of us that are still hanging around. 'Cause it's just petals in the gutter, washing out to sea the remains of every promise that you ever made to me. Once they were a canopy, once they were a crown. Now they're just the debris that the rain is pushing down. I'm reaching for the velvet, but I'm only touching mud,
I'll still be standing in the rain. Petals in the gutter, wash it all away. Down the street, into the dark, just a stain on the concrete. Petals in the gutter, nothing left to bloom. I've been wearing this armor for so many months that I've forgotten how it feels to be soft even once. I tell everyone I'm fine and I give them a smile while I'm dragging my heart through every mile. I keep the house clean and I pay all the bills. I've mastered the art of the silence that kills. But when the sun goes down and the city goes quiet, my soul starts a lonely, desperate riot. I'm the shoulder for others, the rock in the stream, but I'm drowning in shadows and losing the dream. The weight of the always is starting to show, and I've got no place left for the sorrow to go. 'Cause I'm tired of being strong, I'm tired of being brave, I'm tired of digging this emotional grave. I wanna be the one who gets to fall apart, to let someone else hold the pieces of my heart. I've carried the ghost of us until my bones start to ache, and I'm just one I miss you away from the break. I don't wanna be a hero, I don't wanna belong to a world where I'm forced to be this goddamn strength. It's 2025 and the world's moving fast, but I'm still the anchor for a ship that I let out one tear, will the whole dam collapse? Will the version of me that they know just vanish perhaps? I'm so busy making sure that everyone's okay, that I'm fading to gray at the end of the day. The pedestal's lonely and the air is so thin, and I'm losing the fight that I'm supposed to win. I'm a pillar of salt, I'm a statue of stone, and I'm terrified of crumbling here all alone. Yeah, I'm tired of being strong, I'm tired of being brave, I'm tired of taking this emotional brave. I wanna be the one who gets to fall apart, to let someone else hold the pieces of my heart. I've carried the ghost of us until my bones start to ache, and I just wanna miss you away from the break. I don't wanna be a hero, I don't wanna belong to a world where I'm forced to be this goddamn. Let the porcelain crack, let the windows all shatter, let the world finally see that I'm bruised and I'm battered. I'm dropping the shield, I'm laying down the sword. I can't be the person you're looking for anymore. I just wanna scream. God, I'm so tired of being strong, I'm so tired of being brave. I'm done trying to be the one that you need me to save. I just wanna sit on the floor and just cry without having to give you a reason why. I've carried the ghost of us until my heart started to break, and I've given away than I ever could take. I don't wanna be a hero, I don't wanna belong to a world where I have to be this strong. I'm letting it go, I'm letting it fall. I'm not the rock anymore, I'm nothing at all. Just tired, so tired. I went down to the water where the
the surface used to shine, back when your hand was warm and folded into mine. I waited for the silver, for the glow across the bay, to light the path we promised we would never throw away. But the sky is like a curtain that's been drawn across the blue, and the lake is just a mirror that's forgotten how to view. It's 2025, but the stars have gone to sleep, leaving me with secrets that are far too dark to keep. The ripples don't have edges, the shore has lost its line. I'm looking for a signal or a flicker or a sign, but the gravity is heavy and the atmosphere is thin, and I don't know where the world ends or the emptiness begins. And I'm staring at a moonless reflection in the black of a man who's lost the only soul who ever loved him back. There's no light on the water, there's no ghost in the glass, just the shadow of the future that I let too quickly pass. I'm reaching for the shimmer, but I'm only touching cold. A story with no ending that's already growing old. Yeah, the night has got a hold of me, and it won't let me go. Drowning in a moonless reflection with nothing left to show. I remember how the moonlight used to carve out every curve, the confidence you gave me and the beauty I preserve. Now I'm just a silhouette against a jagged obsidian soul, wondering what I'm supposed to be looking for anymore. The tide is pulling outward, taking every prayer I sent, leaving just the wreckage of the time that we both spent. I'm a portrait with no color, I'm a song without a key, searching for a version of the us that's dead to me. The of the heart. Lost in a moonless reflection with nothing left to show. No pale glow, no silver pad, just the deep, just the aftermath. Promised that the world would never reach us here inside. We built these walls on always, we shingled them with trust, never thinking that a golden vow could ever turn to rust. But there's a spot above the bed that's turning dark and gray, a slow and steady rhythm washed away. I put a bucket on the floor to catch the falling sky, but you can't contain the damage when the well has run so dry. I'm checking all the rafters, I'm searching for the crack, but there's no amount of timber that can bring a feeling back. 2025, and I'm shivering in the hall, watching our forever start to crumble and to fall. 'Cause love is a leaking roof, and I'm drowning in the drip. I'm losing my footing, I'm losing my grip. It starts with a shimmer, a soft and tiny stain, until you're waking up to find you're sleeping in the rain. You can patch up the wood, you can pray for the sun, but you can't stop the storm once the breaking has begun. It's cold and it's hollow, and it's soaking through my proof. Nothing hurts quite like love when it's a leaking roof. You're sleeping on the sofa just to stay out of the wet, but the dampness in the air is something neither can forget. Every I'm sorry is just a plastic sheet taped across a memory that bright like love when it's a leaking roof. We should have seen the clouds, we should have felt the draft, instead of standing in the center of the room and just laughed. Now the carpet is ruined and the pictures are warped, and I'm standing in a sanctuary that's finally been scorched by the water, by the cold. Your love is a leaking roof, and I'm shivering in the dark, watching the ice we used to be slowly start to slip. It started with a whisper, a soft and tiny stain. Now I'm drowning in the middle of a self-inflicted rain. You can patch up the wood, you can hope for the sun, but the structural damage has already won. It's cold and tunnel, but I'm living with the truth, and I'm losing you, love, when it's leaking roof. Drip, 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 drip. The bucket's full tonight. The stars are coming through the holes, but there isn't any light. Just a leaking roof. I could tell them that we drifted like the changing of a tide. Keep the dignity intact and keep the skeletons inside. I could say it was the timing or the distance or the career, and paint a pretty picture for everyone to hear. But the mirror in the hallway doesn't care about the light. It saw the way I looked at you before you said goodbye. It saw the bitterness I tasted, the poison on my tongue, the way I let the best of us get trampled in the mud. The neighbors think we're tragic, a romance gone astray, but they weren't in the kitchen when the colors turned to gray. The ugly truth is that I broke you just because I could. I burned down the forest for a little bit of wood. It wasn't fate or destiny or stars that didn't light. It was the coldness in my spirit and the ego in my mind. I wasn't the victim, I wasn't the saint.
truth. It's 20 how you're fine and I'm still blaming everyone but me. While you're out there healing from the things I couldn't be, I tell the bartender you're crazy, I tell my mom you're cold, to hide the fact that I'm the one who let the fire go. I let the silence grow like ivy till it choked out everyone. I made sure that your side of things was never even heard. The truth is I was lazy, and the truth is I was scared. So I acted like a ghost until you weren't even there. There's no we in this disaster, there's only what I did. The secrets of a coward that I never should have hid. The ugly truth is that I broke it just because I could. I burned down the forest for a little bit of wood. It wasn't fate or destiny or stars that didn't line. It was the coldness in my spirit and the ego in my mind. I wasn't the victim, I wasn't the saint. I'm the one who stripped the canvas and ruined all the pain. Yeah, it's easy to be mournful when you're standing in the booth, but I'm drowning in the wreckage of the ugly truth. It's not a beautiful heartbreak, it's not a poetic end. It's just the sound of someone losing their very best friend. It's the sight of my own hands shaking in the dark, realizing I'm the one who put the gasoline on the spark. I'm the villain of the story, and I'm finally awake. Yeah, the ugly truth is that I broke us just because I could, and I'd give anything to change it. If I only knew I would. It wasn't fate or destiny or stars that didn't line. It was the darkness in my soul that claim was only mine. I wasn't the victim, I wasn't the saint. I'm the one who took the love and covered it in taint. It's easy to be mournful when you're standing in the booth, but I'm dying in the shadow of the ugly truth. No excuses left, no one else to blame, just me standing here in the middle of the shame. The ugly truth. The ugly truth. a shadow through this hollow, quiet place. I put the kettle on, watch the steam begin to rise, while I practice how to hide the hollow look behind my eyes. The neighbors see me mowing lawns and checking on the mail. They don't see the way my hands are shaking or the way I'm pale. I'm a master of the doing fine, a king of getting by, while I'm suffocating slowly under this 2020 T4 sky. The loudest screams are the ones that never leave the throat. I'm a sinking ship that's trying hard to look like I'm afloat. And I'm living in a state of quiet desperation, an endless loop of silence and a heart in isolation. I don't make a scene, I don't cry out your name. I'll just sit here in the kitchen while the world stays the same. It's the scream you can't hear, it's the ghost in the hall, it's the sound of a spirit hitting a brick wall. No sirens, no crashes, no tears to be found, just the quiet desperation of love underground. I see a toothbrush in the drawer and I leave it where it lies, a tiny little monument to all our old goodbyes. I keep the radio turned down so I don't have to hear the songs that tell me all the places where my lonely heart belongs. I go to work, I come back home, I stare at the TV, watching people live the lives that weren't meant for me. The how I use are arrows that I dodge with every breath, because the truth is just a slow and steady kind of emotional death. The walls are closing in, but they don't make a single sound. I'm a heavy weight that's waiting for the bottom to be found. And I'm living in a state of quiet desperation, an endless loop of silence and a heart in isolation. I don't make a scene, I don't cry out your name. I just sit here in the kitchen while the world stays the same. It's the scream you can't hear, it's the ghost in the heart, it's the sound of a spirit hitting a brick wall. No sirens, no crashes, no tears to be found, just the quiet desperation of a love underground. Hey, I wanna break the windows, I wanna shatter every plate, I wanna let the world know about this heavy crushing weight. But the habit of the normal is a cage I built so well that I've become the keeper of my own private hell. I'm so quiet, I'm so still. Found the map we marked with all the places we would go. A trail of ink and promises from a life I used to know. I remember the kitchen table where we stayed up until 3, mapping out a future that belonged to you and me. We had the spirit of a lion and the vision of a king, but we didn't see the winter that the coming years would bring. I really meant to keep the vow, I really meant to stay. But life has such a cruel habit of getting in the way. We were building on a foundation made of shifting golden sand, with a blueprint for a palace that we didn't understand. Now I'm standing in the wreckage of yesterday's best intentions, living in a house of almost and unspoken interventions. We meant to be the exception, we meant to be the light, but we lost the thread. Wasn't enough to save us from the weight of all the hollow hopes that yesterday gave us. I look back at the version of me who thought he knew it all, the boy who didn't realize how far a heart could fall. I intended to be your anchor, I intended to be your home, but I ended up a ghost in a garden overgrown. Every I promise that I uttered was a debt I couldn't pay, a currency of kindness that just withered and turned gray. It's a special kind of heartbreak to look back and realize that the sincerity was real, despite the sadness in your eyes. The road was paved with goodness, the stars were in our reach, but we're just 2 more lessons that the bitter years had to teach. Now I'm standing in the wreckage of yesterday's best intentions, living in a house of almost and unspoken interventions. We meant to be the exception, we meant to be the light, but we lost the thread of forever in the middle of the fight. It wasn't for lack of trying, it wasn't for lack of soul. It's just that the pieces we started with couldn't make a whole. I'm sorry that the love we had wasn't enough to save us from the weight of all the hollow hopes that yesterday gave us. In 2025 the world looks different than we planned. No white picket fence, just the salt upon the land. I still have the heart that wanted to give you everything, but I'm left with the silence and the ghost of a wedding ring. We were so sincere and so incredibly wrong.
gave us. We really meant it though, didn't we? Best intentions are just ghosts now, just ghosts. I still use the key to turn heavy brass lock, but I'm greeted by the silence of a ticking kitchen clock. The mail is on the counter, the coats are on the hook, but it feels like a stage set or a picture in a book. The walls are painted willow, a color we both chose. Now I'm just a ghost here and everybody knows. I'm walking on the carpet where we danced on New Year's Eve, but the floorboards only remember the moment you had to leave. It's December 2020 fair and the winter's at the door, but the warmth don't live behind these windows anymore. I've got the deed, I've got the dirt, I've got the garden stone, but I've never felt more like a stranger in a place that I own. 'Cause I'm living in a house that isn't a home, a collection of furniture and feelings overgrown. There's a vacancy in every room, a shadow on the stairs, and a good night whispered to the empty open air. You took the spirit with you when you packed your final bag and left me with a roof that's starting to slowly sag. It's four walls and a ceiling, but I'm standing all alone in a house that isn't a home. I cooked a meal for one and sat at the table's end, trying to find a way to be my own best friend. But the salt is in the memories and the sugar's gone to seed, and I'm starving for a conversation that I'll never get to lead. I hear the pipes humming in the middle of the night, and I reach across the mattress to find a flicker of light. But the thread count is cold and the pillow is dry, in a bedroom that's become a place to sit and wonder why. The foundation is solid, the roof is weather tight, but there's a leak inside my spirit that I can't fix tonight. I'm the keeper of the keys to a kingdom made of dust, watching all the hours turn into a lonely must. 'Cause I'm living in a house that isn't a home, a collection of furniture and feelings overgrown. There's a vacancy in every room, a shadow on the stairs, and a good night whispered to the empty open air. You took the spirit with you when you packed your final bag isn't a home. I could sell the place tomorrow, I could tear the shingles down, I could move to another street on the other side of town, but I'd still be carrying the blueprint of your face, the only thing that ever made a sanctuary of this space. Without you, it's just lumber. That isn't a home. Turn the lights out, lock the gate. It's just shelter now, it's just square footage. It isn't a home. No, it isn't home. You sat me down and opened up your laptop on the bed with a list of bullet points for all the things we never said. You talked about the growth curves and the distance in our goals, as if you could put a decimal on the breaking of our souls. It's 2025 and you've got an app for every move, a spreadsheet for the reasons why we've fallen out of groove. You're looking at the data, I'm looking at the door, wondering when my heartbeat became a thing you could ignore. You've got 1,000 reasons that all make perfect sense, a fortress made of maybe in a cold clinical defense. But your math is missing something, your theory has a flaw. It forgot the way I felt when I was everything you saw. And that's the logic of leaving, the science of the end, the way you rationalize the murder, your very best friend. You're balancing the checkbook of the time we spent in vain, trying to find a formula to subtract away the pain. But you can't divide up forever by a better off this way.
responsibility has dropped below the line, and you're prioritizing wholeness by no longer being mine. I didn't know our kisses were a diminishing return, or that the bridge we built was just a lesson you had to learn. You've turned our history into a case study of the past, explaining why a fire like ours was never meant to last. I'm a variable you've deleted, I'm an error you've corrected, while I'm standing here in pieces, completely unexpected. Your vocabulary is healthy, your boundaries are tall, but you're the smartest person ever to lose it all. The summary is finished, the conclusion has been drawn, and by the time I find an answer, you'll already be gone. And that's the logic of leaving, the science of the end, the way you rationalize the murder, your very best friend. You're balancing the checkbook of the time we spent in vain, trying to find a formula to subtract away the pain. But you can't divide us forever by a better off this way. No matter how many graphs you draw to justify the gray. Yeah, your head is in the numbers, but my heart is in the grieving, broken by the cold hard logic of leaving. Does it feel better to have a reason? Does it make it easier to change the season when you're lying in the quiet of a house that's half as loud? Does the logic keep you warm? Does the data make you proud? Because my heart doesn't care about the why. It only knows it's being left to die. Yeah, that's the logic of leaving, the science of the end, the way you rationalize the murder, your very best friend. You're balancing the checkbook of the time we spent in vain, trying to find a formula to subtract away the pain. But you can't divide us forever by a better off this way. No matter how many graphs you draw to justify the gray. Your head is in the numbers, but I'm the one who's bleeding from the cold hard logic of leaving. The math is done, the result is 0. You're the winner, and I'm just gone. Logic. It doesn't feel very smart. I still catch myself leaning to the right side of the bed, reaching for a hand that's only living in my head. The grocery list is shorter now, the coffee's half as strong,
and the silence in the hallway feels like it's a mile long. I haven't moved your favorite chair, I haven't cleared the shelf. I'm still introduced to strangers as a version of myself that was half of something beautiful, half of something true. But now I'm just a fraction since I lost the part of you. The calendar flipped over to a brand new 2025, but I'm still figuring out how to stay emotionally alive. The world is moving forward, the city's getting loud, while I'm just a lonely shadow lost inside a crowded cloud. And I'm learning how to be alone, but I'm a slow learner. I'm putting off forever on the very back burner. I'm teaching my heart how to be without your name, in a house that looks the same, but will never feel the same. It's the good night to the ceiling, the dinner for one. It's the terrifying realization that we're actually done. Yeah, it's a long cold road into the great unknown. Just a broken-hearted student learning to be alone. I went to see a movie and I sat there in the dark, realizing I didn't have anyone to notice the spark. I laughed at a joke and then I turned to see your face, only to find a stranger sitting in your sacred space. I'm learning how to talk to myself without feeling like I'm mad, and how to not feel guilty for the moments I'm not sad. But then a song will play, or a certain scent will drift, and the foundation of my freedom starts to slightly shift. I'm a pilot in the cockpit with no one on the ground, trying to find a way to land without making a sound. The independence hurts, the liberty is cold. It's a different kind of story than the one we were told. And I'm learning how to be alone, but I'm a slow learner. I'm putting off forever on the very back burner. Now I'm teaching my heart how to be without your name, in a house that looks the same, but will never feel the same. It's the good night to the ceiling, the dinner for one. It's the terrifying realization that we're actually done. Yeah, it's a long cold road into great unknown. Just a broken-hearted student learning to be alone. They say you have to love yourself before you love another, but I'm still just trying not to suffocate or smother. I'm making friends with the choir, I'm shaking hands with the space. I'm trying to remember who I was before I saw your face. Is it solitude or lonely? I guess it depends on the day. Yeah, I'm learning how to be alone, and I'm getting better.
watched the shadow of the door frame stretch across the floor, while you were pacing around the kitchen looking for the door. The dinner's getting cold, but neither of us cares to eat. Not when the air is heavy with the taste of our defeat. I tried to find a sentence that would make you wanna stay, but all the words I gathered seem to get in their own way. You're physically still standing just 5 feet from my chest, but your soul is already packed its bags and headed for the west. The silence is a siren, the tension is a wall, and I'm just waiting for the final curtain leaf to fall. And you're just staring at the exit sign, glowing more than bright, ready to trade us for the freedom of the night. I'm pleading with the shadows, I'm begging for a spark, but you're already halfway gone and faded in the dark. I can see the handle turning in the reflection of her eyes, the quiet confirmation of 1,000 slow goodbyes. I'm holding on to nothing while you're crossing over the line, staring at the exit sign. Is it the way I breathe, or the way I never learned to listen? I see the tears you're holding back, I see the way they glisten. But they aren't tears of sorrow, no, they're tears of sheer relief. The final honest ending to a story built on grief. I wanna grab your shoulders, I wanna make you turn around, but I'm terrified of making any kind of sudden sound. If I stay perfectly still, maybe time will simply freeze, and I won't have to watch you leave me shaking on my knees. But the clock is ticking 20, truly freed into the room, and the exit line is illuminating all this looming gloom. Yeah, you're just staring at the exit sign, glowing red and bright, ready to trade us for the freedom of the night. I'm pleading with the shadows, I'm begging for a spark. You're already high, gone and fading in the dark, and I can see the handle turning in the reflection of your eyes, the quiet confirmation of 1,000 slow goodbyes. I'm holding on to nothing while you're crossing over the line, staring at the exit sign. Don't look, because if you do, I might think there's a chance that we could save the music for one final broken dance. But your hand is on the deadbolt, and your mind is on the road, and I'm just the heavy baggage that you're finally gonna own.
Red light, cold night. The door clicked shut, I'm still staring at the space where you were. Exit. I stayed up watching the porch light flicker till 4, knowing damn well you don't live here no more. I replay the fight just to hear your voice loud. I'm seeking out thunder in a perfectly clear cloud. I went to our spot and I sat in the rain, just to see if the cold could distract from the pain. I'm picking at stitches that were starting to heal, 'cause if it doesn't hurt, then it doesn't feel real. The doctor says time, but I'm breaking the glass. I'm sabotaging every hour that passes. I'm my own shadow, I'm my own ghost, destroying the things that I'm needing the most. And I'm ruining my life, one memory at a time, turning our history into a scene of the crime. I'm burning the bridges while I'm standing on the edge, tossing my heart off a 10-story ledge. I could choose to breathe, I could choose to be fine, but I'd rather be broken if it means you're still mine. Yeah, it's a slow motion wreck, it's a sharp edge knife, and I'm doing a hell of a job ruining my life. I saw your new picture, you look happy and bright, in the arms of a man who sleeps through the night. So I drank till the walls started whispering your name, and I called you 6 times just to shoulder the blame. I'm missing my deadlines, I'm losing my way. It's 2025, but I'm stuck in the day that you packed up the kitchen and emptied the halls. Now I'm just a man talking back to the walls. I'm skipping the meals and I'm losing the sleep. The hole that I'm digging is getting too deep. I'm a master of misery, a king of the fall, and I'm doing it all just to feel anything at all. And I'm ruining my life, one memory at a time, turning our history into a scene of the crime. I'm burning the bridges while keep on falling into the end's light. I'm caught in the shadow of what used to be, and I can't break free from this memory. I'm ruining my life, one memory at a time, turning our history into a scene of the crime. I'm burning the bridges while I'm standing on the edge, tossing my heart off a 10-story ledge. I could choose to breathe, I could choose to be fine, but I'd rather be broken if it means you're still mine. Yes, a slow motion wreck, it's a sharp edge knife, and I'm doing a hell of a job ruining my life. Lost in the silence, lost in the pain, just the echo of your name again and again, ruining my life. Can't find a way out, can't find a way out. I'm looking up at a sky that's already past 1,000,000 miles of light that was never meant to last. The shimmer in the black, that silver blue glow, is just a ghost of a fire from 1,000,000,000 years ago. It's a lot like the way I still look at your name, waiting for a flicker, waiting for a flame, but the telescope is lying and the night is just a shroud for a beauty that's been buried by a cold cosmic cloud. I'm sending up my secrets, I'm sending up my breath to a light that's been dancing in the arms of death, and I'm wishing on a dead star, praying to a ghost, clinging to the memory of what I've missed the most. I'm asking for a forever from a heart that's turned to stone, in a universe that's hollow, in a house that's not a home. It looks like it's burning, it looks like it's true, but there's no one left to answer, and there's no more me and you. Yeah, I'm chasing down a shadow that's already gone too far, wishing on a dead star. The calendar on the wall says it's 2020 fair, but I'm still trying to keep a 2020 dream alive. I'm talking to the empty side of the king-size bed, repeating all the I love yous that you've already unsaid. They say that light travels, that it takes a little time for the end of a world to become a nursery rhyme. So I guess I'm just a witness to the middle of the end. a dead star. Wishing on a dead star. It's been out for years. Just took a while for the tears to see the dark. Wishing on a dead star. Sticker on the box when I moved in. Bright red letters saying fragile where the tape was thin. You helped me unpack the glasses and the porcelain plates, promising to shield me from the heavy hand of fate. But somewhere in the hallway, in the middle of the night, stop looking for the edges. You stopped holding on so tight. You started treating always like a common plastic thing, and forgot the kind of damage that a careless word can bring. Now the kitchen floor is covered in a million jagged shards of the girl I was before you started playing with your cards. It's 2025 and I'm swept into a pile while you're walking through the wreckage with a cold and steady smile. 'Cause you treated my heart with a handle with no care, like a penny in your pocket or a breath of mountain air. You let it drop, you let it fly, you let it hit the stars. Then wondered why I shivered when you left me all alone. It wasn't a mistake. I'm looking at the bruises that don't show up on the skin, the places where the callousness and coldness started in. You're tossing I love you like you're tossing out the trash, then act so surprised when you felt the final crash. I was a vintage melody, a rare and quiet song, but you played me like a radio that stayed on far too long. You didn't see the hairline cracks until the wall gave way, and now you're standing in the dust with nothing left to say. You didn't use the bubble wrap, you didn't use the string, you just expected me to survive every single sting. The box is wide open and the contents are a mess, a victim of your boredom and your casual neglect. 'Cause you treated my heart with a handle with no care, like a penny in your pocket or a breath of a mountain air. You let it drop, you let it slide, you let it hit the stone, then wonder why I shiver when you left me all alone. It wasn't a mistake, no, it wasn't just a slip. It was the way you let go forever slowly lose its grip. I'm a masterpiece of broken, and I'm gasping for a prayer. After years of being handled with no care, I'm not a fixer-upper, and I'm not a spare. I'm the person who gave everything when you weren't even there. You handled me like I was made of steel and rusted iron, but I was just a flickering flame in the middle of your Yeah, you handled my soul with a handle with no care, like a ghost in the hallway or a shadow on the stair. You let it drop, you let it slide, and let it hit the ground, then walked away and never even turned your It wasn't an accident, it was just your way of wasting all the beauty that I gave you every day. I'm a masterpiece of broken, and I'm finally aware that I'm done being handled with no care. Keep trying, you gotta try. You ignored every sign, handle with no I'm staring at the ceiling in the quiet of the night, tracing out the constellations, trying to get it right. The sky is like a ledger of every choice we made, a map
of all the moments where the colors started to fade. I go back to that Tuesday when the rain began to fall, and I find a way to tell you that I loved you through it all. I catch the words I shouldn't have said before they hit the air, and I'd spend a little longer with my fingers in your hair. But the ink is dry and the pages are turned. I'm just standing in the ashes of the bridges that we burned. If I could rewrite the stars, I'd put your name next to mine, in a script that never falters, in a glow that doesn't die. I'd move the moon a little closer just to keep you in the light, and I'd take the word goodbye right out of every single night. I'd change the ending of the story, I'd fix the broken parts, I'd find a way to stitch together these two hollow hearts. But I'm just a man with a pen in the dark, wishing I could change the sky with a single tiny spark. Yeah, I'd rewrite the stars. I delete the day you packed your bags and headed for the door, and make sure that the reasons didn't matter anymore. I'd rewrite the distance, I'd shorten every mile, until the only thing I lived for was the shadow of your smile. I'd make the always actually mean what it was supposed to be, instead of just a ghost that's currently haunting me. I'd build a universe where we never learn to bleed, where the love we had was finally the only thing we'd need. But the gravity is heavy and the orbit is so cold, and I'm holding on to stories that have already been told. If I could rewrite the stars, I'd put your name next to mine, in a script that never falters, in a glow that doesn't die. I'd move the moon a little closer just to keep you in the light, and I'd take the word goodbye right out of every single night. I'd change the ending of the story, I'd fix the broken parts, I'd find a way to stitch together these two hollow hearts. But I'm just a man with a pen in the dark, wishing I could change the sky with a single tiny spark. Yeah, I'd rewrite the stars. I draw a line from my heart straight back to your hand, a destiny so solid that it wouldn't turn to sand. I'd erase the silence, I'd edit out the pain, until the only thing that's fallen is a gentle summer rain. But the sky is far too high, and I'm just passing by. If I could rewrite the stars, I'd put your name next to mine, in a script that never falters, in a glow that doesn't die. I'll move the moon a little closer just to keep you in the light.
stay right where they are, burning cold, burning far. I can't change a thing. No, I can't change a thing. Just another night under a different sky, rewriting. If I still keep the porch light burning till the break of day, just in case you forget that you threw the key away. I bought 2 tickets for the show, coming to town in June, even though the silence in your seat is a haunting tune. I'm saving the vintage wine we bought for our 5-year mark, drinking water alone in a kitchen that's far too dark. It's a dangerous habit, this holding on to air, looking for a heartbeat that simply isn't there. They say hope is a feather, but it feels like lead in my chest. A bird with broken wings that won't let the memory rest. I'm living on misplaced hope, a debt I can't afford, like a soldier still standing when he's already lost the war. I'm waiting for a good night text that's never gonna chime, invested in a future that ran out of breath in time. It's a bridge to nowhere, a garden in the snow, refusing to let the only thing I love finally go. Yeah, I'm drowning in the maybe and the what if we were close, clinging to the ghost of you that I need the most. It's just misplaced hope. My friends all use that pity look when they see me in the street. They talk about new beginnings and the people I should meet, but I'm still checking the weather in the city where you moved, as if knowing the temperature means I'm still being loved. I haven't moved the dresser, I haven't cleared the space. I'm terrified that moving on means I'll lose the shape of your face. I'm a fool in a cathedral, praying to an empty slum, building a sanctuary for a love I no longer own. The calendar says 2025, but I'm stuck in 23, waiting for the version of you that was actually in love with me. Yeah, I'm living on misplaced hope, a debt I can't afford, like a soldier still standing when he's already lost the war. I'm waiting for a good night text that's never gonna chime, invest in a future that ran out of breath in time. It's a bridge to nowhere, a garden in the snow, refusing to let the only thing I love finally go. Yeah, I'm drowning in the maybe and the what if we were close, clinging to the ghost of you that I need the most. It's just misplaced hope. Hope is supposed to be the thing that pulls you through the night, but mine is just the anchor keeping the shore out of sight. It's a cruel kind of mercy, a slow burn kind of light that keeps me staring at the door instead of saying goodbye.
stays on. Just misplaced hope, waiting for the goal. I took the pictures down and patched the holes in the drywall. Swept the dust of us right out into the hall. I changed the sheets and let the winter air rush in, trying to scrub away the places where you've been. The kitchen's quiet now, the kettle doesn't scream. I'm waking up alone from a long abandoned dream. The space is vacant, the light is getting low. I've got 1,000 square feet with nowhere left to go. So I'm renting out my heart to anyone but you, looking for a stranger who might see the view. I'm checking all the references, I'm locking every door, because I can't afford the damage that you left upon the floor. It's a temporary lease, a short-term kind of stay, just enough to keep the quiet and the ghosts of us away. Yeah, it's empty, it's hollow, and it's falling apart. But I'm running out my heart. I put a for rent sign where my pulse used to be, looking for a tenant who won't ask too much of me. No long-term commitments, no forever in the fine print, just a little bit of company to pay for all the time spent. Wondering why you packed your bags and didn't leave a key, leaving nothing but the shadows of the way we used to be. The walls are thin, the foundation is weak, and every time I say your name, the floorboards start to creak. So I'm renting out my heart to anyone but you, looking for a stranger who might see the view. I'm checking all the references, I'm locking every door, because I can't afford the stood on the corner of 5th and Main, searching for your jacket in the pouring rain. I saw a flash of blonde, a certain tint of the hair, and for a second I forgot the things we said. I started to call out, the name caught in my throat, before I realized it was just a stranger's code. Every face is a puzzle that doesn't quite fit. I'm looking for fire where the match is unlit. 1,000 heartbeats passing me by, underneath the gray and indifferent sky. Just another soul that can't be found. I went to that cafe where we used to hide, but there were 3 different couples laughing inside. The air was thick with voices I didn't know, and I felt the distance start to grow and grow. The more people I see, the more you disappear, until I can't even whisper your name in my ear. It's a lonely kind of mad, a cruel kind of sum, to be surrounded by everyone and feel so numb. The world is getting louder, the lights are too bright, and you're just a pixel fading into the night. I'm losing you in the crowds, one person at a time.
conversation in my email from last May, for that little coastline bistro where we said we'd run away. The brochure for the cabin is still sitting by the sink, with the coffee rings and wine stains and a permanent blue ink. We were halfway through the blueprints of a life we hadn't lived, with 1,000 hours that we never got to give. Now I'm staring at the groceries that I don't know how to cook, like a story that was finished at the middle of the book. The table's partially set, but the guest isn't coming. I can hear the ghost of our finisher in our refrigerator. Oh, it's 2025, but the calendar is stuck on the day we ran out of love and ran out of luck. And now I'm just living on half-eaten dreams. I say broken edges of unraveling seams, like a dinner left cold, like a letter half penned, like a happily ever after that hit a dead. And I got a suitcase half packed and a heart half broke, watching the plans that we made go up in the smoke. It's a bitter kind of hunger that won't go away, feeding on the half-eaten dreams of yesterday. We were gonna learn to garden, we were gonna see the east. I was gonna be the beauty, you were gonna be the peach. I still have the seeds for the roses we never got to plant, and I'm trying to be okay, but I realize that I can't. I see the half-painted walls in the room down the hall, a color called promise that's starting to crawl away from the corners and away from the light, leaving nothing but the gray of a Tuesday night. The wine is half poured, but it's turning to vinegar. The space on your side of the bed's getting bigger. I'm a master, the almost a king of the need, drowning in the salt of a half-finished tear. And now I'm just living on half-eaten dreams, the frayed broken edges of unraveling seams, like a dinner left cold, like a letter half penned, like a happily ever after that hit a dead. And I've got a suitcase half packed and a heart half broke, watching the plans that we made go up in the smoke. It's a bitter kind of hunger that won't go away, feeding on the half-eaten dreams of yesterday. What do I do with the nearly and the just about, with the flickering candle that won't quite go out? You left the plate full, you left the glass high, and you didn't even finish your very last goodbye. It's all just leftovers. Yeah, I'm starving to death on these half-eaten dreams, tied to a ghost by these invisible beams, like a movie cut short, like a song without notes, like the I love you echo still stuck in our throats. I've got a life half lived and a soul half tore, wondered what I was saving the other half for. It's a hollow kind of feeling at the end of the day, living on the half-eaten dreams of yesterday. Half the house is quiet, half the bed is cold.
like when we were new. I'm still wearing the sweater that you said you liked, while you're building a life that I've been erased from tonight. I'm a chapter you finished, a book on the shelf, while you're rewriting always with somebody else. Now you're someone else's forever, someone else's light, the one who gets to hold you through the middle of the night. I'm just the ghost of a promise that we couldn't keep, a memory that wakes me when I'm trying to sleep. I thought I was the ending, the one you'd never leave, but I'm just a once upon a time you no longer believe. Yeah, it's beautiful and bitter how you've put us back together as someone else's forever. Do you tell him the stories that you told to me about the girl in the city you were scared to be? Does he know how you take your coffee in the fall, or that you're terrified of silence most of all? It's a strange kind of torture, a quiet kind of hell, to wish you the best, and why I'm wishing you'd fail to forget. Now you're someone else's forever, someone else's light, the one who gets to hold you through the middle of the night. I'm just the ghost of a promise that we couldn't keep, a memory that wakes me when I'm trying to sleep. I thought I was the ending, the one you'd never leave, but I'm just a once upon a time you no longer believe. Yeah, it's beautiful and bitter how you've put us back together as someone else's forever. I'm not angry at the sun for rising in the east. I'm not angry that you finally found your peace. I'm just mourning the version of me that was yours, the one who's now locked outside of all your doors. Yeah, you're someone else's forever, someone else's light, and I'm just a shadow fading out of sight. I thought I was the ending, the one you'd never leave, but I'm just a once upon a time you no longer believe. It's beautiful and bitter how you've put us back together as someone else's forever, someone else's home, someone else's home. I guess I'm just back to being my own.
I typed out I miss you at 2 a.m. and stared at the cursor and killed it again. I wrote 3 whole pages on how much I hurt, how I still find your scent on my favorite shirt. I described every sunset we watched by the lake, and the way that my chest feels like it's gonna break. But the blue light just flickers and fades into gray as I click on the X and I throw it away. The cloud is full of things I'll never send. A digital graveyard where we didn't end. I'm living in a world of deleted drafts, the secrets, the sorrows, the I want you back, some library of letters that you'll never read, full of all of the mercy. I'm too proud to plead. It's the how could you leave me, and where did I go wrong? The verses I cut from my favorite song. My heart is a folder of what we once had, just a ghost in the static of deleted drafts. I've got a message that says, are you happy today? But I know that I'm better off looking away. And another that says, I saw your car at the bar, but that's crossing a line and I've gone way too far. So I backspace the anger and backspace the grief, seeking a silence that brings no relief. It's a clean inbox world where I'm doing just fine, while I'm losing my mind on the very next line. My sent folder's empty, my trash is a flood of all of the feelings I can't get out of my blood. I'm living in a world of deleted drafts, the secrets, the sorrows, the I want you back, some library of letters that you'll never read, full of all the mercy. I'm too proud to plead. It's the how could you leave me, and where did I go wrong? The verses I cut from my favorite song. My heart is a folder of what we once had, just a ghost in the static of deleted drafts. Sometimes I wonder if you're doing it too, typing I'm sorry and thinking it through. Are you staring at a screen in the middle of the night, deleting the truth so you can stay out of sight? Is your trash bin as heavy as mine? Yeah, I'm dying in a world of deleted drafts, the please come home and the I'm sorry laughs, a library of letters that you'll never read, while I'm bleeding out words that I don't wanna need. It's the I still
kept the ticket stubs from every movie show, even the bad ones where we sat in the back row. My mother still asks how you're doing on the phone, and the dog still waits by the door. When I get home, the neighbors still wave like they expect to see a car. The world's still spinning, and I'm still at this bar. Everything's exactly where it's supposed to be, except for the part of the picture next to me. The stars are in the sky, the moon is on the rise. The morning sun still managed to open up my eyes. The seasons didn't stop, the winter turned to spring, but I'm still here holding on to this ring. 'Cause the coffee shop still remembers your name, and the cracks in the sidewalk feel just the same. The city's still loud and the river's still deep, and I've still got promises I intended to keep. It's a cruel kind of magic, a bitter kind of truth, that the world kept the memory of me and you. Everything else in this life found a way, but you're the only one who didn't stay. I saw your best friend at the grocery store. He looked at the floor, then he looked at me some more. He said he was sorry, and I said for what? As the ghost of your laughter tied my stomach in a knot. The radio played that song you used to hate. It didn't skip a beat, it didn't hesitate. It's like the universe refused to take the hint that our forever was just a momentary print. The leaves are on the trees, the tide is coming in. The world doesn't care about the state I'm in. The clock on the wall is still ticking on time, ignoring the fact that you're no longer mine. 'Cause the coffee shop still remembers your name, and the cracks in the sidewalk feel just the same. The city's still loud and the river's still deep, and I've still got promises I intended to keep. It's a cruel kind of magic, a bitter kind of truth, that the world kept the memory of me and you. Everything else in this life found a way, but you're the only one who didn't stay. Why did the lights stay green when you drove away? Why did the birds keep singing it on that Tuesday? If the whole world knew we were meant to be, why did it let you go so easily? It's all still here, except for you. The coffee shop still remembers your name, and my heart is the only thing that's really changed. The city's still loud and the river's still deep, and I'm buried in secrets that I have to keep. It's a cruel kind of magic, a bitter kind of truth, that the world kept a version of me and you. Everything else in this life found a way. Yeah, everything else is right here today, but you're the only one who didn't stay. The sun's going down, the world's still turning round. The street lights are humming, but you aren't coming. You're the only one, the only one who didn't stay. I'm still setting the table for two and catching my breath when I remember it's not you. There's a space on the sofa where you used to lean. Now it's just the coldest spot I've ever seen. I found your hair tie at the bottom of the stairs, a little ghost of you that caught me unawares. The world keeps moving, the clock keeps its pace, but I'm stuck in a room that still holds your shape. Now I'm just living on leftover love, like a prayer that never made it to the clouds above. I've got all this affection with nowhere to go, a heavy hollow rhythm only broken hearts know. It's the jokes you won't laugh at, the dreams we didn't keep. It's the good morning whispers that died in my sleep. Yeah, I'm drowning in the ghost of what we were made of, stuck with nothing but this leftover love. I saw your favorite brand of coffee on the shelf and almost bought it before I caught myself. The hardest part isn't that you're finally gone, it's that the love I have for you keeps carrying on. It's an echo in a canyon, a fire in the rain, a beautiful devotion that turned into pain. Now I'm just living on leftover love, like a prayer that never made it to the clouds above. I've got all this affection with nowhere to go, a heavy hollow rhythm only broken hearts know. It's the jokes you won't laugh at, the dreams we didn't keep. It's the good morning whispers that died in my sleep. Yeah, I'm drowning in the ghost of what we were made of, stuck with nothing but this leftover love. They say time is a healer, that the cup will run dry, but I'm pouring out my soul to a dark, empty sky. What do I do with the I love yous left in my throat? What do I do with the future we wrote? Yeah, I'm still living on leftover love, like a prayer that never made it to the clouds above. I've got all this affection with nowhere to go, a heavy hollow rhythm only broken hearts know. It's the jokes you won't laugh at, the dreams we didn't keep. It's the good morning whispers that died in my sleep. Yeah, I'm drowning in the ghost of what we were made of, stuck with nothing but this leftover love. Nothing but leftover love. It's getting cold now, it's all just leftover. I won the argument, stood my ground and I made you feel small. I laid out the facts like a cold iron chain and watched the light flicker out in the rain. You looked at me then with a look I'd never seen, like I was a stranger where a lover had been. I got the last word, I made sure I was clear, but now that word is the only thing I hear. The house is so quiet, the victory is loud. I'm the king of a castle made out of a cloud. I proved my point until there was nothing left. Now I'm just an expert in emotional theft. And this is the cost of being right. A king-size bed that's empty tonight. I traded your heart for the sake of the truth. Now I'm counting the wreckage of my pride and my youth. I won the battle but I lost the whole war. Now I'm staring at the space where you walk through the door. Yeah, it's a heavy place, it's a bitter kind of life, living with the cost of being right. I've got my dignity tucked under my arm while I'm surveying all of the self-inflicted harm. I could tell the neighbors how you were the one to blame, but the I'm sorry I'm choking on feels like a shame. It's 2025 and I'm technically correct, living in a life that I've managed to wreck. I was so busy proving that I hadn't lied, that I missed the moment, the feeling inside. Dialogic is perfect, the evidence is sound, but there's nobody left to be standing around. I'm the smartest man in an empty room, whistling a melody of my own doom. And this is the cost of being right. A king-size bed that's empty tonight. I traded your heart for the sake of the truth. Now I'm counting the wreckage of my pride and my youth. I won the battle but I lost the whole war. Now I'm staring at the space where you walk through the door. Yeah, it's a heavy price, it's a bitter cold of life, living with the cost of being right. I trade every I told you so and every look at the facts, just to have 1 minute to take it all back. I'd be wrong 1,000 times, I'd be the one to fail, just to see a cold hanging back on. And now being right is a lonely, lonely place to be. Yeah, this is the cost of being right. Turning off the lights in a house with no light. I traded your heart for the sake of the truth. Now I'm haunted by the ghost of a wasted youth. I won the battle but I lost the whole war, and I can't find the person I was doing it for. It's a hard to win, it's a long dark night, paying the cost of being right. Heart's right, God, I was so right, and now I'm just alone. Was it worth it? No. We were a wildfire kept in a jar. We were a wish on a dying star. I memorized the map of your skin, chasing the places where us could begin. We had the blueprints, we had the stone, building a kingdom we could call our own. I gave you my best, I gave you my soul, but I couldn't fill up the parts that weren't whole. We were 99% of the way to the top, but that last little inch was a long way to drop. And almost is the hardest word to breathe. It's the ghost of the life we were supposed to lead. We were almost the ending, almost the goal, almost the story that never got old. I'm standing on the edge of what could have been, watching the forever we didn't quite win. It's a heavy kind of hollow when the dust begins to rub, realizing that almost was enough to break me. You said we were perfect, and you said we were wrong, like a beautiful melody that's one note too long. I'm haunted by the nearly and the just about, by the flickering candle that wouldn't go out. We reached for the handle, but missed by a hair. Now I'm grasping at shadows and breathing in air that tastes like your perfume and smells like regret. The closest to heaven I haven't reached yet. We were the right people at the wrong kind of time. The most beautiful mountain I'll never quite climb. And almost is the hardest word to breathe. It's the ghost of the life we were supposed to lead. We were almost the ending, almost the goal, almost the story that never got old. I'm standing on the edge of what could have been, watching the forever we didn't quite win. It's a heavy kind of hollow when the dust begins to rub, realizing that almost was enough to break me. They say a miss is as good as a mile, but a mile doesn't have your particular smile. A mile doesn't hurt like the space in the bed, or the I love you echoes left unsaid. We were so close, I could taste the I do. Now I'm just almost a you.